Welcome to If Numbers Could Talk. My name is Keelan. If Numbers Could Talk is a part of the Thinkering Group. You can find us over at thinkering.space. You can also find at Thinkering Space the Thinkering Talks podcast, the Exofathom podcast, along with the Plank Talks with Joe. When you get a chance, please check out our merchandise. We have merchandise on our website, thinkering.space, as well as merchandise at teespring.com/thinkering shop. Please visit, grab a t-shirt, grab a mug. We'll appreciate it. And when you do, feel free to let us know that you've decided to become a member of any of our fan clubs. Today's episode on If Numbers Could Talk is pretty much going to be around excuse me. Today's episode is going to be circling the careers, the numbers of two of the current head coaches going into this new season. Both of these gentlemen were assistant coaches for the LA teams last season. One of those being the assistant for the Clippers and one being the assistant for the Lakers. So from there, these guys were former players. They are now head coaches. They have gone on to have great careers when they were players. And they are now just taking the time to not only give back some of that knowledge that they amassed, but also maybe learn some things along the way. If you're in the news right now, you're paying attention to everything that's going on, you may know exactly what I mean. And if you don't, I totally understand. I'll break it down for you this way. Both of these gentlemen have a history as far as assistant coaching and or coaching, not necessarily negative or positive, but they have experience is my point. The two gentlemen I am speaking of, Chauncey Billups and Jason Kidd. Now, before I take down the coaching screen I have this evening, I'm going to give you their beginning stats like height, when they were drafted, those kind of things, nicknames. So let's start with Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups stands 6'3", 210 pounds. He was drafted in 1997 as the third overall pick. He was drafted to the Boston Celtics. Chauncey Billups played a total of 17 NBA years. And in those 17 NBA years, the nickname that I remember him being called by is Mr. Big Shot or Big Shot Billups. The other gentleman that we're speaking of is Jason Kidd. Stands 6'4", 210 pounds. Drafted in the 1994 NBA draft as the second pick to the Dallas Mavericks. Jason Kidd played a total of 19 NBA years. So needless to say, both of these guys had a good amount of time under their belt to amass some knowledge, right? Gain some friends, gain some fans and some connections. And those connections have gotten them not only through being NBA players, but into the arena of coaching as former NBA players and now current NBA head coaches. Welcome to If Numbers Could Talk. Let's get into it. Chauncey Billups was the assistant coach for the Los Angeles Clippers for 1 year, the 2020 to 2021 season. He is now the head coach starting the 2021 season going forward for the Portland Trail Blazers. Chauncey Billups is now the head coach for the Portland Trail Blazers after being the assistant coach for 1 year of the Los Angeles Clippers. Jason Kidd, well, after he retired, he goes down as, I want to say, one of 3 players in history to become a head coach the season directly after retiring. I know Derek Fisher is another one of those players. I cannot remember who the third player is. Jason Kidd was the head coach from 2013 for the 2013-2014 season for the Brooklyn Nets. Jason Kidd was the head coach from 2014 to 2018 for the Milwaukee Bucks. And it was the 2019 to 2020 season, and including the 20 to 21 season, but it was the 19 to 20 season that Jason Kidd was the assistant coach for the Los Angeles Lakers, and they won a championship. He was also the head coach last year as well. So Jason Kidd from 2019 to 2021, 2 seasons, was the Los Angeles Lakers assistant coach. However, starting the 2021 season and moving forward, Jason Kidd will be the head coach for the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks. So I think it's very interesting to begin this. I'll state that you have two notable guards that are now coaching two notable guards. Uh, Chauncey Billups will be now coaching the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. So his main player, his star player, is Dame Lillard. Jason Kidd will be coaching the Dallas Mavericks, who's also the team that drafted him. I thought that was very interesting. And honestly, I kind of saw him eventually coaching the Dallas Mavericks in some capacity. But his star player as the Dallas Mavericks head coach will be Luka Doncic. Now, Luka, in my opinion, is very Jason Kidd-esque, like just very Jason Kidd. If you ask me, he might be a little more agile. I don't know about athletic. I don't think he's nearly as fast as Jason Kidd was, especially not coming in, but agile, flexible. I would never question Jason Kidd's IQ for the game, but with Luka and his IQ, and you put him with Jason Kidd, that's going to be pretty insane once they get a nice rapport. Same with Dame Lillard and Chauncey. While Chauncey Billups was a great three-point shooter, he's already come out and stated that he's not really excited about shooting a lot of threes. He's looking for a lot of ball movement. Well, if you ask me, a guy like Chauncey Billups, who 1,000%, I'm going to say it that way, a guy like Chauncey Billups who can 1,000% get ahead in this thing. He could shoot the ball. That's never a question. Chauncey Billups could definitely shoot the ball. But he understands a couple of things, especially about winning, because he's done that. So what I'm thinking is Chauncey Billups is a great coach. He's a great coach for Dame Lillard, not because it's going to hinder Dame from taking shots. No, not at all. In fact, I think he's going to encourage Dame to take more shots. Maybe not the team as a whole, but Dame specifically to take a few more 3-point or just shots that we know Dame can make. I mean, if you can make a 40, 50-foot jumper, we know for a fact you can hit a 15, 18-foot jumper, but you have to dive into the lane. That's a whole other discussion, right? So what I anticipate is with Chauncey Billups being the coach for Dame Lillard, not only will we see some more impressive long-distance shots from Dame Lillard, we'll see some decision-making changes, because I don't think he's ever really made any bad decisions. But I think we'll also see an elevated level of decision-making from Dame Lillard moving forward with a guy like Chauncey Billups, who, in my opinion, was a very decisive player. I can't really say I've seen him make a lot of plays that I questioned or I was like, whoa, what was that? I mean, the same with Jason Kidd, but I already spoke of his IQ, so that makes sense. Chauncey Billups' IQ, that's where I leave it. Just a great decision maker. And so you add that with Dame Lillard's athleticism and his ability to score and already make decisions. I anticipate seeing Dame Lillard kind of get to another level of point guard. Point guard is what I call that level. That next level is point. I anticipate both of these guys, Luka and Dame, they have the coaches to where they can graduate from high level superstar point guard to point guards. And with that being said, let's get back to Jason Kidd and Chauncey Billups as players before they became coaches. I would say definitely part of their resumes as players would definitely come into play when it comes to choosing you as a coach. Because if you don't know much about the NBA game, how can you coach the NBA players? So let's get started. Let's go with USA medals to begin, right? Chauncey Billups has one gold medal with Team USA from the 2010 Turkey Games. Jason Kidd has two gold medals with Team USA for the 2000 Sydney Games and the 2008 Beijing Games. Chauncey Billups won one championship in 2004 with the Detroit Pistons. He was also the Finals MVP. Jason Kidd won one has also won a single championship with the Dallas Mavericks in 2011. Another moment where it's like, wow, Dallas is really the place he needs to be. Like he thrives, he flourishes when he's in Dallas. Now, what I think is interesting is Jason Kidd kind of has two rings. He has one as a player with the Dallas Mavericks in 2011, but he has another ring from just the 2019-2020 season as the Lakers assistant coach when the Lakers won the ring. Some people call it a bubble ring. We've had this discussion on here before, but it's a championship ring. And Jason Kidd was the assistant coach for that championship ring. Jason Kidd was the 1995 co-rookie of the year. His co-rookie was Grant Hill. Chauncey Billups has 5 All-Star appearances, while Jason Kidd has 10 All-Star appearances. Chauncey Billups has been nominated to the All-NBA teams 3 times, whereas Jason Kidd has been nominated to the All-NBA teams 6 times. Jason Kidd has 9 All-Defensive Team selections. Chauncey Billups has 2 All-Defensive Team selections. Jason Kidd was also the 5-time assist leader, a 5-time assist leader in the NBA in his career. Now let's get to these statistics. That's why we come, right? That's what we do. That's what we're here for, the numbers. So Jason Kidd played a total of 1,391 games in his NBA career, while averaging per game 12.6 points, 6.3 rebounds, 8.7 assists, 1.9 steals, 0.3 blocks, with 2.9 turnovers and 1.8 personal fouls in every game for Jason Kidd. He also averaged the percentages of 40% from the field, 35% from the three-point line, and 79% from the free throw line for Jason Kidd. Chauncey Billups played a total of 1,043 NBA games, during which he averaged 15.2 points, 2.9 rebounds, 5.4 assists, 1 steal, 0.2 blocks, with 2 turnovers and 2.1 personal fouls per game in Chauncey Billups' NBA career. His percentages were 42% from the field, 39% from the three-point line, and 84% from the free throw line for Chauncey Billups. The totals for Jason Kidd's 19-year career and Chauncey Billups' 17-year career. Chauncey Billups scored a total of 15,802 points, grabbed 2,992 rebounds, dished out 5,636 assists, while he took 1,051 steals and swatted away 168 balls for 168 blocks. He also accrued 2,138 turnovers with 2,169 personal fouls in Chauncey Billups' NBA regular season career. Jason Kidd, in his regular season NBA career, had a total of 17,529 points, 8,725 rebounds, 12,091 assists, 2,884 steals, with 450 blocks. Jason Kidd also accrued 4,003 turnovers with 2,572 personal fouls. In his NBA regular seasons, Chauncey Billups had a total of 2 triple-doubles, Jason Kidd had a total of 107 triple doubles in his NBA regular season career. Next, of course, we get to go time. We get to the big boy time. Pull up your big boy pants, put on your big boy pants. Let's get to the big boy time. This is when what I believe the real aggressors show up. This is when I believe the real entertainment starts. The real job starts. The entertainment stops, and this is all work. There is nothing to have to showboat about. We're just trying to get wins to move on to the next round. That is called the playoffs. In the playoffs, Chauncey Billups played 146 games, where Jason Kidd played 158 games for his NBA playoff career, during which Chauncey Billups averaged in his 146 games 17.3 points, 3.4 rebounds, 5.7 assists, 1 steal, with 0.2 blocks. Now, he also gave away 2.2 turnovers with 2.6 personal fouls for Chauncey Billups in the playoffs, with a percentage of 41% from the field, 37% from the three-point line, and 88% from the free throw line for Chauncey Billups. Jason Kidd, in his 158-game playoff career, averaged 12.9 points, 6.7 rebounds, 8 assists, 1.9 steals, 0.3 blocks, while he also gave away 2.8 turnovers with 2.2 personal fouls per game. The percentages for Jason Kidd: 40% from the field, 32% from the three-point line, and 78% from the free throw line for Jason Kidd in the playoffs. But the playoffs aren't just about averages, they're also about totals, at least as far as we're concerned, right? I mean, I'm talking to the numbers. They make sure that I put down the totals. I mean, that's a lot more numbers, right? So I guess they're doing their friends a favor. So let's see what these numbers are talking about. The total for the playoffs for Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups in the playoffs scored 2,526 points, grabbed 492 rebounds, 831 assists, with 148 steals for Chauncey Billups, 23 blocks in playoffs for Chauncey Billups, with 322 turnovers and 373 personal fouls in the playoffs. Chauncey Billups in the playoffs did not accrue or amass any triple doubles for the playoffs. What about Jason Kidd's totals for the playoffs? In the playoffs, Jason Kidd scored 2,043 points, grabbed 1,058 rebounds, dished out 1,263 assists, took away 302 steals, while he tossed 52 blocks. During his playoffs, Jason Kidd had 450 turnovers with 348 personal fouls. Jason Kidd also in his playoff career had 11 triple doubles. 11 triple doubles for Jason Kidd's 158 playoff games. Now, again, we went through this simply because these are the gentlemen who are currently head coaches in the NBA. These are the gentlemen, these are their numbers. That shows a little bit of their background, a little bit of their IQ. We heard about their awards, things that other people revered them for and ensured that they attained some type of notoriety for it. So with that being said, for me, as I said a moment ago, I am highly excited to see what Jason Kidd is able to help Luka Doncic add to his game. I am also excited to see what Chauncey Billups is able to help Dame Lillard add to his game. I enjoyed watching both of these guys play, and I enjoy watching both of those guys play. So I'm really excited to see what is passed along from coach to player. And if we're being honest, from coach to coach, because I can see Dame Lillard being a coach in the future, and I could definitely see Luca being a coach in the future. Just the type of players they are. They don't just love this game. It's almost like they eat and breathe this game. Um, and sometimes I feel like Luca's trying to coach the guys on the floor right now. But again, sometimes we have to just acknowledge that that is a different discussion. And the numbers are the discussion that we're on now. And these numbers are the kind of guys that I would want teaching my guards. I mean, they're the same position. They amassed all of these numbers. They did all of these things, awards, numbers at the same position as their star players for the teams that they're about to start coaching this incoming season. And with that being said, that concludes today's show of If Numbers Could Talk. Again, I'll be here on Tuesdays and I'll try to add a lot of different things. Today, I really wanted to cover the assistant coaches previously for both LA teams coming into their head coaching rights into the next season. Chauncey Billups' first time as a head coach, not Jason Kidd's first time as a head coach. However, he is now a head coach for the same team that drafted him as a player. He is also a head coach for the only team he won a ring with as a player. So I'm very interested, and I'm sure both of these guys are ultra excited to get started with their new teams. If you enjoyed this, I'll see you next Tuesday. If you're interested in anything else we have going on, you can head over to the Thinkering Talks page on YouTube and on Facebook. There you'll find the Exofathom podcast, which is hosted by Nick, Ayla, and Mike. Comes on Mondays and Fridays at 8 p.m. You'll also find the Screen Time Continuum that comes on at 8 p.m. on Wednesdays and Sundays. That is hosted by myself, Nick, and Dejan. If you really just want to sit here and listen to me talk about numbers and learn more about other players that you may not know a lot about, players from the past, players from the future, or excuse me, players from current, if you want to hear about all the numbers that I come up with or I find for vehicles or movie showings, all of those things, comic books, you never know. Be sure to tune in with me. And also, if you want to see video games, if you want to see some things that you might have never played, some games that you might have never heard of, I encourage you to head over to Twitch and check out Dejan's Strawberry and Coffee. Strawberry and Coffee comes on at 10 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Also, the following day, you can catch those exact same videos if maybe you fall asleep or maybe you're just not able to tune in at night, right? You could also catch those same videos on YouTube. Strawberries and Coffee. That's Dejan. And he has a lot of great games that he's playing. I want to say right now he's playing Borderland. No, I'm sorry. Right now he is playing The Wolf Among Us. The Wolf Among Us. Really nice game. I actually played that one and I enjoyed it. So I've been enjoying watching him play, just as I have most of his other games. And also, drop some comments for us, guys. Send us some emails. Let us know how you really enjoy, or if you really enjoy some of our content. If you know something about some of the content when you're watching Screen Time Continuum or the Exo Fathom or Strawberries and Coffee, I'm sure Dejan would have no problem with people dropping hints and helpful tips for him in the comment section, or even here on If Numbers Could Talk. Maybe you want to add something. Maybe I'm talking about one of your favorite players or one of your most despised players, or recently I did an episode on trucks. Maybe I didn't talk about a type of truck you like, and you would like me to compare one of those trucks to a truck that you like or another type of a vehicle. By all means, you could do that in the comment section if you want to get directly to me, if numbers could talk at gmail.com. And again, check us out on all of our pages, Facebook and YouTube for sure. We are there for you. You could also head over to thinkering.space. That is our website. And from there, you'll be able to find all of the links for all of our pages and all of our shows. Thank you for hanging out with me this evening for Thinkering for Thinkering Talks. My name is Keelan, and for If Numbers Could Talk, my name is still Keelan, and I'll catch you guys the next time we tune in for this. Have a great one, guys.